Okay, so today we have had a customer request a feature to be added to one of our apps. In the app is some building management software that has a portal that tradies and contractors can submit forms through, and then it has an admin dashboard where the admin team or the builder can look at that submission that's been submitted through the portal. So this is going to be a workflow that shows how I'm developing locally and then pushing that to production. So I'm going to run through the entire flow. I did try a live stream before, but I think it glitched out on OBS. So here it is restarting. I'm going to post that. What's happening? Cool. So over in Cursor, I've already written the prompt, and essentially what's happened is a customer has given me a PDF document that has a bunch of information that they'd like captured. Now, on the application as it already stands, we have a bunch of different forms. We have all these fields and components that we can use, and we have also on the admin dashboard a bunch of different components that we can use as well, such as this table and all of that. Now, over in the project itself, you can see that we have, I'm going to move myself there because I can't see. We have local Superbase, so all of the development is done locally, and I'm running a Docker container for that. And this allows me to make changes and completely break the database on my computer without ever having to interrupt what's going on the live production side of things. And so what we want to do is leverage some of the existing work that we've already done. So what I've done here in this prompt, if you can see, is basically told it we've had a feature request to add this test and tag register into Builder Shield. I've given it the PDF. We want to figure out how the required fields, and come up with a plan to collect the information from the safety portal, and we can use something similar to the site induction setup. So what that means is that over here, just check out this. So I've gone into the routes here, and I've just given it this as context. I've said, look at this, look at the way that this is set up. And on the admin side, we'd like to create a route to display this kind of information. And it should know because they're all pretty much the same there. So what we first want to do is, confirm the routes and come up with an implementation plan. So now what I'm going to do, and I like using plan mode for this, because these kinds of things here, we've got this mono repo set up. We're going to be making changes in this part of the code base, which is the safety portal, and then again in the admin portal part of the code base. And we want to make sure that initially it has all of the context it needs to for that. So you can see how it's done quite a good job at exploring these so far, seeing how everything's done. And hopefully it comes up with a good plan. So I'm expecting to see, as it's doing this, I'm expecting to see a few things. I'm expecting it to see a new table, come up with a new table on Superbase. So I expect to see a migration pop up. I also expect to see a new route get created on the safety portal, and I expect to see a new route get created on the admin portal. Unfortunately, I'm using Composer 2.5 here because I've run out of credits on the other ones for another 4 days, but I don't find Grok to be super effective for these kinds of things. So PDF register has many rows per site. One equipment item per form, log each item as its same item as plant, one form session. That's a good question. So here's where the product development starts coming into it. Let's just say that you have 5 or 6 different things on a work site, and the person's test and tagging all of them at once. So what a test and tag is essentially for any electrical item on a work site, there needs to be this kind of label here. So because of that, there's probably 2 workflows that you could have when you're on the site as a contractor doing this. Either you're going and you're testing each one individually, or you bring them all to a bench and then you test and tag them that way. So perhaps, what's the best way to do that then? I think it will get quite complex if we are test and tagging bulk items in one thing, but it would save the person having to refill out this form each time. But perhaps there is a happy medium in which we can have 1 equipment item per form submission, log each item as it's tested, but save the information in cookies or in local storage of the person that's completed it, so that the next time that they go into it, they don't have to complete as much personal information. So let's do that. Just make sure that it's actually working. Yeah. Are we live streaming on YouTube? We are. Sweet. Cool. So now we view the plan. Let's have a look at what it says. I'm just going to zoom out a bit. So it defines an equipment log test per the Australian standards. Each one records 1 portable electrical item, extensionally, drop sort, etc. We already have an electrical register, but that form is for checkbox inspections, which is not for portable test and tag. Don't extend that. Great. That, just so you can see, is a separate feature that we have, which is specific for electrical boxes. Where is it? Electrical check. So electrical safety check, maybe we need to rename electrical safety check to electrical checkbox, because this is actually a different thing. So that's great, but please make sure we update the electrical check card title to, so I'm just typing in cursor here, to electrical box check. So that will help avoid confusion. But what else is it going to do? This will be, we want this new feature to be called test and tag. So RCD tested, enum, shared header context. So this is basically just outlining the notes. So what the field is and what the, so what the field is in the PDF, what the field is in the app, and then the notes, whether it's required or not. Shared header context. Okay, so it's looking at these different things that we have. Testing frequency, default 3 monthly, stored as testing frequency. Standard builder shield fields, follow site induction pattern. Yeah. Confirmed routes, tag and test, great. Success, great. Tag and test register, admin portal, PDF tag and test ID. Sweet. Architecture. Saves the PDFs into the bucket that we have. Yeah, phase 1 database migration, so that's what we wanted to see. It's going to do RLS policies, mirror site induction. So it's going to create the same folder structure that we have here within the site induction. So you can see that it's got them there. It's mirroring that. Rate limit, all of the stuff that we need, yes. Add the grid tile near the electrical tile, reuse electrical icon, or add a dedicated icon. What icon do we have? We have the electrical icon, yeah. I guess for now we can just use that, we can change it later. Template, admin portal register view. Great. Polish optional follow-up site register export admin with items matches the multi-row PDF workbook layout. Due date reminders for items approaching next due date. Hooks into existing notification system to notify of overdue tests. Perfect. Zod rules, super base, files touched. So that is exactly what we wanted to see. And we want to make sure that we get it to update that. Are all these fields required, or are all the proposed fields required? Are they in accordance with standards? So I just want to sanity check the fields there that we are going to be adding to make sure that they actually are in accordance with the regs. And then if they are, I will hit build and then see what happens. This is just updating the plan. And one of the things that I like about this kind of workflow is that we can see what the AI is going to do before it does it. So there you go, new portable equipment tag. So it's added this into the plan. And what I've found is that it's actually pretty good at building as per the instructions from the plan. So it's very critical to make sure that the plan is correct, because if it's not correct, or if you don't plan at all, it's just going to go based on what the first assumption is here. So good step, use the plan to come up with the entire thing that you want to implement, check over it, ask it questions until you're happy, get it to update the plan until you're happy. The PDF lists every register column or a mandatory for a valid record, optional serial number, tag and test required where results pass or fail, autofield not typed by user, project name. Okay, item number, yeah. Signature is optional in V1, not in the PDF. No, so we want the signature to be on there as well. And I'm just going to open up that PDF again. Tested by license number. So for the license, we want them to upload a photo of their license. As per how it is in the electrical check flow. And again, I can just have a look at this, give it context there. I'll move back across. And is there anything else that we want to do? We want to save the we also want their contact. We want to save the person's phone and email address, as well as the company name, etc. as well, so we can identify who did the test. This should be validated in the same way as site induction. Implementations mirror, electrical check, great. So once it's done this, then we want all the values that will remain consistent, e.g. name, email, phone, electrical license, etc. to be saved in local storage, so that if the user completes another test and tag, they will have the information pre-filled. So it's added some sanitization as well, which is great. Tested by PDF, admin table, yeah. Okay, so I just had to have a look at someone that just called me, so I've let them know that I'm in the middle of a stream. You help at test and tag storage, JS with BS test and tag key, so that should make sure that we have all of this loaded. Verification steps, submit 2 items in a row and confirm tester fields pre-fill while empty blank. Perfect. So now thinking through it, when we submit a test and tag for one item, it's going to ask us to submit a test and tag for that same item in 3 months. So do we have a way of tying together the test and tags from the same item over multiple months? E.g., I complete a form, I complete a test and tag now for a drill, then in 3 months when I complete it, it asks, the new submission is connected to the old one. Does this even need to happen? I think it would probably be the best workflow. Like if you had one equipment and you like one row per equipment item, and then you have, so if I jump over to here and we go through this, if I had a field here and I had one row with the equipment name and ID, and then when I submit a new one, it just pops open and it shows me the whole history of that, so that I can see the history. So we want to find that out now, because if we go and implement something and it doesn't have that, then we need to build that in later. It's going to require more migrations, and at the moment we have a version database table for this. So, okay, let's see what is going on over here. How should a new submission connect to the same physical item when retesting? Which one is best? Retest flow, user picks an existing item from a site list recommended. The problem with the site list is, do we even need the site for it? What does the reg say? Location on site. Do we even need to know the work site, or do we need to know the item's history itself more? Because tradies, they might take on one project, it might be there, for 3 weeks, and then it might be on another project for 3 weeks. So therefore, I don't think that the tools are site specific, because the tools that need to be tested and tagged can be carried across different sites. It's an interesting one, because if they take it across sites, they won't be able to reference it by the work site that it's on. And if they that means that it would need to be done by I think by serial number is the only thing that makes sense. Should follow the item across sites, not the work site. Updating the plan with the builder scoped equipment model and retest linking. Okay, so just explain it. Good question. The planners list did not link retest. Each submission was standalone. You're right, the tools move between sites. Site is recorded on each test where the test happened, but history is tied to the equipment scoped to the builder. 2 tables. Test and tag equipment. Stable record for test and tag each test event linked by equipment ID. When you retest the same GL3 line, does it make sense to do it this way? How do we make this decision? If someone comes in a year and they say, can we have the history of that tool's test and tagging, it would be good if we could just click on one row on the admin portal and then download that whole history, rather than having to search by the equipment. Yeah, so let's see what it does. Searchable list across all sites, description, serial number, interesting location, yeah, equipment identifiers. Optional but strongly encouraged. It's the main way to auto match items. Without it, users pick from the equipment list manually. So that's a good question. Do even simple things like extension cords have a serial number? They must, right? Do extension, let's just confirm. Cords have serial numbers. Or is the serial number given from the test and tag? Most extensions do not have factory. What they usually have on-site teams typically assign their own asset tag with an asset serial number. That's a company's asset number, not something the manufacturer stamped on the cord. Great, so that confirms it. We will have the serial number assigned to it during the test and tag. They're not going to be using the factory serial. We can rename plan UI to asset serial number. Use your company asset tag if no manufacturer serial. Yes, please do that. Okay, so after that, I think we're pretty good to build. And then let's see what Composer comes up with. So what it's going to do from here is, if I go down to the bottom, you can see that the plan's pretty comprehensive now. It's going to do a migration. It's going to add these things to the safety portal and the admin portal. And what we're going to need to do is wait for it to complete that, reset the database locally, and then go through and test it and see what happens. Another thing to note here is that I have a completely fresh branch. I build on main typically for things like this, and if I make a mistake, which can sometimes happen, I just revert it from here, or I just go back to delete it all from here and go back to the previous commit. Obviously, if you're building out features and other people are building out features, use separate branches, but when you're just one dev building on main, I think is fine. Especially for something like this, rather than it being like a full re-architecture, building out a feature like this is pretty straightforward. So let's, this is another thing that I really like about Cursor over some of the other building tools, is that I get a lot of real estate to look at this plan. I get to see what it's doing. Everything that it's doing is shown in here. And so I can follow along and have a look. Well, it's implemented the database stuff. It has added this JavaScript file for storing the things of the company ID I don't think we need. That's fine. But it's basically added the file for saving the stuff into local storage. It's adding the form schema, form fields, form questions, create test and tag PDF document. So that's fantastic. Using all the functions and stuff that we've got from previous features, admin portal and files, building out the page itself. Adding it to the nav in the admin portal, so you can see already, I mean, it's probably going to break if I click on it. No, you don't have any form submissions yet. That's fantastic because we obviously don't even have the database migration added. Now we can go over to here. We've got the test and tag thing here. That's over here. Electrical box check. Maybe we should make it electrical test and tag. Test and tag. Electrical test and tag. I don't even need to do that manually. I can just tell Cursor to do it. Okay, so it's done back into Cursor. It's done the build. Adding database types. Now, hopefully it just resets Superbase for me. Otherwise I can do it. PNPX Superbase DB reset. Reset it now. Recreating the database. Yeah, and this is the real power of using these kinds of workflows or having a mono repo, is that you can just put your PDF in the docs over here. Use that as part of the prompt. You can then also use the existing layouts and things that have a similar kind of functionality as well as context to improve the plan and have a more comprehensive plan so that it already knows how things are being implemented in previous situations, and then come up with a plan, implement that, like iterate on the plan and then hit build. And then it obviously becomes a lot more testing. So you can see here we've got the migration that's done. Apply the migration, regenerate the types. I can do that. It's just doing all that stuff, fun and games. Cool, and now if we go back over to our alternate monitor, we're going to have this, well, it's going to have logged us out, which is what we would expect. Now we can come over to cache refresh that, test and tag, and we've got our first problem. So you can see that, for example, on the plant inductions, that there's no validation that's been triggered immediately. For the test and tag, we have validation triggered immediately. So I'm just going to, and I can't even type in my input fields. Can I type in this? yeah, so I think we can't type in this. Basically what's happened, I think, is it's trying to look in local storage and there's nothing. Local storage is triggering the form. I can't type in because it's just default set it to local storage. So I can't type in first name, last name, etc. It also looks like the form has been submitted or something, as the validation has been triggered on page load. So conflict between value store and effect, that's what we were looking for. Comparing this form with site induction. Typing issue and premature validation stems from the effect block. I'll split the effect into separate parts. And probably we would like, there was also something here that was kind of annoying. Let's just fix that spacing up. Please add spacing between work site and trade fields on swims review and SDS. Safety data sheets. It's just something that was annoying me. Okay, so test and tag, select the site and address. Now we want this equipment thing to be at the top. I did implement something recently because here it wouldn't, like, in my mind, the first thing that you do, be looking at it, go, is this a new equipment first test or is it an existing test? That would be the first thing that I have a look at. So I'll just take a screenshot of this. Okay. Now we can paste that into cursor. I'll go to the behind camera so you can see both screens. I'm just going to check that. That is looking much better now. Also, okay, so, okay, great. But now on mobile, it's too much space. But what we were doing was we were going to test and tag. So we want this equipment. I like taking screenshots. So I'm just going to paste the two screenshots in here and say that we have on the site check-in page. I think it's that. Is it that one? Apps safety portal. Yep, it is that one. We have on the site check-in page, a nice field for selecting between check-in and out. Please make this new or retest the checking the same style and also put it first. Oh, I hope the audio has been good. Apologies if it hasn't. I haven't been on my headphones. So you're probably hearing plug my computer in. replace the radio list with 2 side-by-side toggle buttons. Great. I think that looks pretty decent. Does it look the same as here? Yeah, it looks pretty much the same. That looks not good at all. But let's just go through new equipment. So Luke Benici, just give it a mobile number. Test it, test. Use a custom company name, Gibson Electric. Equipment. So screenshot that. Come up with better error handling or better error messages, please. Grinder. Company name, Gibson Electric. Asset serial number, manufacturer's number if available. That's got way too much space behind it or underneath it. Please reduce spacing between asset serial number and... Actually, what we want to do is go back to the site induction. We have this kind of thing here. So screenshot that. Paste that into cursor. And then go back to test and tag. Great. Save these. So email address as saved, company name, equipment item. Please update the position of the text here to under the input field asset serial number label. Okay, so a few more things that we have found here. So this doesn't have, I don't have my electrical license with me. The field. Okay, so just clone that. Just come back to here, electrical box check. There is also no way to upload a photo of the field, no, not of the field, of the tool / item itself. We need that, and it is mandatory. I think we can remove license / cert number because we require a photo of the license. It's doing this stupid global stuff now. Okay, so let's reload that page. Rewiring, great. this drop down on test and tag needs to be better. We have drop downs elsewhere. It should be a searchable select similar to the company name field, but without the ability to add custom name. So that it is easy to find the equipment, perhaps name, serial, etc. Okay, so it keeps taking me back to the electrical box check. So it's added the item. Okay, so let's do this. Test at test.com. Equipment item grinder. Is that mandatory? Yes. No, it's not. This field needs to be mandatory. If it doesn't have the help text, should say if it doesn't have it, manufacturer serial number if available or company asset tag. Help text should, instead of extension leads often use a site assign tag, it should say if it doesn't have one, assign one. If it doesn't have one, please assign one. Yeah, 100% need a way to know whether or not it's been. Yeah, you need a way to know whether or not it's been. Like it needs a unique identifier in order to be able to be tracked across different sites. So we need that. Why do you keep taking me there, man? So if we hit submit, takes me back up to here. Please enter a sort of serial number. Why did you keep that? That's very strange. My prompt wasn't great. Message needs to say, I meant replace the extension with that. The rest was good. But be that as it may, we can change that to, we've still got the company. Yes, we have the company name, grinder. That's, yep, okay. EB 111. Does that needs an error message. This upload a photo needs an error message if it's not complete. Can I upload a photo? YouTube thumbnail, yeah. Location on shed. Yard. It's earthed. Pass, yes. Green. Tag test number, green 017. Electrical license, I don't have one at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to cache refresh the page now. And then grinder. Pass, yes. Green 0. Oh, Okay, I gotta wait for it to finish. Cursor's still chugging along over here. Looks like it's done now though. Verifying equipment, yeah. Equipment grinder. Asset serial number EL0. Give it that. Yes, yes. Don't have it. Notes. Please upload a photo of the equipment being tested. So that's that. Form validation failed. So I screenshot the error. I screenshot the server error. Also, I'm pretty sure there should never be an error when there's the remove button. I was going to say, it's strange that this is under here, but they should never exist simultaneously. Because on this, you would just block anything that wasn't allowed to be added. What does that say now? Using the file source. Okay, so back over in Cursor, it's added a file error. It's added some stuff to the subtext for input fields. And so it's good to check as well if there's things that have been touched that you wouldn't expect to be touched. So, this stuff is fine. The stuff that you wouldn't want to be touched without knowing is stuff like this. The image upload field and stuff, because that would break stuff on other sides. But it's fine for now. So I've cache refreshed this page. Grinder EL001. So now that should error and scroll me up to the top. Yeah. Take a photo of it. Site shed. Class. Date. Pass. Yes. Green 1. Don't have my license with me. Done. Error embedding image in PDF. Form submission failed. Invalid image source type. Why do I get this error? So I'm not sure why that is struggling to do that. Like if I go to this electrical check one, I think it should be fine. Like I don't know if is it too large? Let's see. That worked. And then if I look at the electrical register over here, yeah, it's got them. You can see it's got them here, which means that it's something purely for that testing tag, other forms. So back over in Cursor. I'm going to go behind Cursor. So I'm looking at Cursor. There comes from the wrong argument order when calling. It expects this. So the PDF document was passed as an image source. So just need to tag block state. Submit. Okay, maybe refresh that page. Take a photo. refresh the page again. Don't have a license. Text.split is not a function. I don't know what it's trying to split. Also privacy policy and terms and conditions should open in new tab. So if you go to site inductions, you can see that it does here. Like site induction in the save portal. Okay, so let's just quickly go. Couldn't find no competent person. It's just ironing out bugs. Okay, so what's happened here is that in the schema, if someone checks in the database, if someone checks this, we want to store that they've checked this value. Currently, there is no reference in the schema as it's saying. So when it's trying to write to that database value, when it's trying to write to the no competent person's license, which is that checkbox, there's no value there, or there's no spot for it, which means that it just errors. So it's going to update here. We want to merge these into one migration, please. Just because I hate seeing stuff messy like this. And what we'll need to do is again run the pnpx supabase db reset because we've changed the database structure. Great, so resetting that. One thing that's also really cool is because we've got the website in this mono repo, I'm going to show you the power of building in a mono repo with the admin portal, safety portal, and the marketing site being in one, in the mono repo, because it means that all of the stuff that I'm doing, the marketing site or the AI is going to have context on, and I'm going to be able to very easily create a page with this feature. So okay, let's go back to here. Let's change test and tag to electrical. Test and tag, please. Okay, so we've got new equipment, grinder, asset number, GR1. Upload a photo of the equipment, location, site shed. It's double insulated, pass, yes, green. It's gone and reset it. I need to learn some patience. So grinder, GR1, keeps making changes. They're opening in a new tab now. Yes, they are. Fantastic. Cool, so GR1. Grinder. Take a photo of the grinder, site shed, double insulated, pass, yes, green, 1, don't have that, notes, submit, yay, that works. Now if I come over to here, I need to log in again because I've reset the database. Look at buildershield.com. am I doing wrong here? What? I'll reset the database again. Seeing as I'm logged out, I need to find my password for the seed. Where is the seed? Did I have caps lock on or something? I gotta restart. Rate limit exceeded. PMPM. Run dev admin. Just restart that server. Okay, now I'm in. Electrical tag and test, no submissions. Come back to here, electrical test and tag, new equipment, Luke, grinder, GR1, upload a photo, location, site shed. It's just double insulated, pass, yes, green, 1. I don't have my electrical license. I have notes. Great, so now here, refresh the page. Great, so we have that pass, we have the PDF here. I don't have my electrical license, so I agree to the storage. It hasn't put the photo of the, it hasn't put the photo into it, which is interesting. Storage API error. Okay, so back over in Cursor, we've got these error logs. But that's pretty cool. History, that's absolutely disgusting there. I think this is where something like Fable would crush it, because that's atrocious. Just come over and have a look at, where is it? Apps, safety portal. Okay, so it's restarting Superbase by the looks of it. One thing that I'm actually going to do as well is just come over to here and just delete that MCP server. I mean, it's running the local database stuff here, but you just never want it to terminate your or restart your live database. That would be really not fun. Well, what can we do now? What we can do, it looks like it's reset the server as well. Sorry, it's reset Superbase. And you can tell because it logs me out, which means I need to log back in. Log back in, back down to the electrical test and tag. stop the containers. Okay. So all in all, it's looking pretty decent. Just waiting for it to see the database. We'll start the database. How's it going over on the Twitter sphere? Some big debates. Reporter revenue drops. Cutting SaaS revenues for solar builders. Pretty interesting stuff. This is why I'm not building, I mean, apart from Rapid, I'm not building tools for anyone technical anymore. Only building tools for industries that are, I'd say, boring, unsexy, solving problems that people haven't wanted to solve because they just are really boring, like occupational health and safety. I doubt that there'll be any builders that want to sit down for however long and build something as comprehensive as this. Yeah, there's a lot of complex features in here that took me quite a bit of time to do. This has been around since 2023. Initially, I was building this using I'd done a bunch of early, I would say, introductory stuff to SvelteKit. And then I did a course on SvelteKit. And then following along with that course, the second time I was applying this to the course. So building out everything in the same way that course was done. And then Chat came out and I started working with Chat to fix the errors. Back then it was on Xano. It's saying user data not available. So I'm just going to reset the database again. Yeah, so it was on Xano, which is a no-code platform. It was pretty good, but it was at the time a bit expensive and yeah, just quite difficult to work with. Instead, it didn't have the MCP or any of that kind of stuff. Their new website looks great though. Well done, whoever built this. Is it built on Webflow? No, custom. Yeah, I think it's great. But yeah, migrated to Supabase and I've been loving it, loving the DX since .com.au, that's why. Cool, so now I can come back to here, refresh the page. These JWS errors. Okay, so back in Cursor, I'm just going to restart all of my servers. So admin server, safety server. Is it even working? Supabase. Restart. know what it's changed, but change keys. Okay, electrical testing tag. Close that out. Let's make this full screen. Okay, site address, Luke Bonici, not my real mobile number. Okay. Studio. Custom name, Gibson Electric. Grinder. GR1. Upload a photo. Site shed. Class 2. Pass. No. Green. 1. Whoop. Green. I don't have my license. Great. Now if we come back to here, electrical testing tag, equipment photo. What the fuck? So that's not working, but if I go to site induction, so I'm just checking another form to make sure that it hasn't broken anything there. Complete another form, back to site inductions. Why is it trying to create signed URLs? Oh no. Don't mind signed URLs. I mean, I think it's protected from row level security anyway. I need to restart the admin server. Okay, there's the photo. Electrical tag and test. There's the photo. So we need here. And we need to check the PDF as well. So in the PDF, we've got our nice, beautiful photo. I don't have the license. I agree to storage and processing my data. Wonderful. So now what we need to do is, well, for one, the ability to upload the license photo here. We need to make this history look better because that is absolutely gross. We need to test the notifications, and we need to also send out a email to follow up on the people that haven't submitted their license. So let's create a new plan here. And we're running this in the safety portal. It's actually two things. So in the routes, we have jump over here. In the routes, we have these update things, and these update routes enable people that have not uploaded their license at the time. So maybe we start here. Let's say that someone doesn't have their license photo with them at the time. If they don't have it, we don't want them to not be able to complete the form. We want them to be able to upload it at a later date so that it doesn't block them from doing their work. And the way that we want to do that is by having an additional route that is essentially an update electrical test and tag form. And then we run a cron job that every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. checks the database and looks for any field or any missing license, and then we'll send a text message and an email to that person to get them to upload the form. So we need a route similar to this that can be used to update the electrical license of the test and tag, and then I'm going to do test and tag register as well, which is, if you notice in the admin portal up here, it's the test and tag register. We have in the admin portal, I think it's in the hooks. Yeah, so we have here we have the follow up functions here, which can be used as the basis for this. So come up with a plan. Okay, so similarly to how we have this upload function here, we also want the upload function, similar to how we have the upload function in the site induction. So for example here, we want the ability to upload. So you can see if I click upload, it allows me to just upload an image here. So we want the ability to upload electrical tag and tests. Upload license photo to electrical, not just electrical. Well, it's test and tag register, sorry. Test and tag register. So back over in cursor, we've got this plan mode here. Cron links to electrical license, but the actual route. The existing follow-up links to update electrical license, but the actual route. No. We don't want to do that. We don't. Add a safety portal that for deferred test and tag plus a follow-up convert into admin portal hooks mirroring the existing. Okay, so back to this plan mode. New safety portal route, yes. Update test and tag, guard everything. Add the same things in place, reuse these things. New follow-up script, yes. Query 4-week window, same as other follow-ups. Wire into cron, database migration for follow-up logs, verification, build. It's a pretty straightforward one, that one. Here now we have the ability to upload this. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, so we have the ability to upload the photo here. So let's go back over to here, refresh the page. Let's click retest. This is absolutely gross, so let's fix that. We select equipment to retest thing. Why does it need, if I'm assuming if I click that, it checks it? No. Does it even validate it? It does. Why does it need a checkbox there? We also don't need the due date or site or last site in the field. Okay, it's off by default, so most why it feels odd. When checked, it narrows equipment to those whose next due date is today or earlier. You only want to see what's overdue. Okay. Okay, add the check box back in, but put it under the select and make it clear. Only show those due. Next due test date is today or earlier. When checked, it narrows equipment drop down to items whose next test due date is today or earlier. What does earlier mean? That's overdue or due now. Okay, yeah, due within 1 week or expired or later than expired. Yeah, so it had not a bad idea there. The idea was that if you have a checkbox, let's just say that you have a huge register here and you only want to show ones that are up for being due again, then put a checkbox there to filter out all the ones that have just been done. And I quite like that idea. So I'm going to put it back in, except that's absolutely fucked spacing. So why is it like that? Just fix spacing, it's completely wrong. Cursor is still pumping along. How's that build going? Database migration, follow logs, adds test and tag. Cool, retests, nice. Searchable select. Wrapped the equipment in an equipment retest block container. Okay, good. Okay, grinder. Well, that's really cool. So if I refresh this page, if it's new equipment, description and serial number are not there. If I retest and select, it appends it. Let's add another one of these, site shed. You can say that it's at a different site now. Class 1, yes. Green 2. I'm gonna upload my license. Return home. Test and tag, I'm going to do a new one. Equipment. So let's just call this drill DR1. Let's check the validation. Upload a photo of the equipment. Drill, let's just call it that. Pass, fail. Green 2, green 3. Now I don't know if it's, what is it doing? Is it still going? No. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth putting it in test tag test number. so that a tag test number needs to be unique, specific to the builder. That's another thing that's kind of on my mind. Oh, description, drill, DR1. Turn home, drill, it's uploaded everything, pass. What the hell's going on here? Why is that line not going? Okay, so now on test and tag register. I don't like this history. So perhaps we have just a modal that pops open. Okay. Just at test and tag register. Let's go back to the main scene. We have way too much information here. I don't think we need action taken at all. History should open a modal similar to that on Swims Manager. So if we come back over to the Swims Manager, I click signed. So on Swims Manager, signed, etc. What is it actually? Maybe we don't get it to open a modal. It's already built an extra route for it. History should use a similar kind of table. The header should be the name of the item, history, or something along the lines of that. So back over here, if I now go to test and tag, retest, drill. I guess we can't have it automatically increment this test number here, because if they test another item in between that, then that will increment. So there's not really any way of knowing what their test number is or where they're up to, which is fine. So let's come back over to here. Might just do a Okay, back. Keep file. Okay, great. History. Back to that. Got all that here. Okay, now I want to test a really long comment. Because why not? Okay, retest. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think this is all looking pretty good. I'm fairly happy with this now. History. Do we need to come up with another test and tag, maybe for the electrical box? What do you think about the icons electrical? Where is it? So if we go to page on the routes of the safety portal here, icon electrical SVG. Let's look in Figma then. Iconify. Which icon suits best? Maybe this one. Yeah, let's do this one. Okay, so how are these added? Icon electrical SVG, where's that coming from? Static icon electrical SVG. Okay, company checklist. Okay, so what I need to do, I think, is just take that out. Icon electrical box, export as SVG. Go into the apps, the safety portal, static, electrical box. Icon electrical box. There we go, it's changed. But we also want to change it here. And so where's that one coming from? So nav bar, nav. Where's this icon coming from? Import from Builder Shield Shed UI icons. Okay, so we need to go to that. Shared UI. icons. Okay, so, sorry, now what we want to do is we want to copy this SVG code and we want to go back into cursor. We want to say, we need to add this to shared UI icons. And then perhaps what we also want to do is, so that we don't have to do this and share it in another spot here, perhaps we want these icons to come from the same shared UI library. Although for now it probably doesn't really matter because they're all fixed. Cool, so now let's make a plan. We have just added site test and tag, and test and tag register. We would like to create a page on marketing site as a feature that we have this now. So I'm going to get it to come up with a plan. Come down into cursor here, pm run dev :marketing. Okay, so what is it done here? Electrical test and tag. We want that lightning bolt to be used for electrical box register in navbar and nav, etc., and everywhere else where electrical box register is. Electrical test and tag will keep the current icon. So back over to the marketing site plan. Test and tag only. Do we not have... Oh, we don't have on the marketing site yet a feature for the electrical box. Oh, we do. Oh, it's just added it. Both live demo and iframe mockup like injury registered, no new screenshot. Because I don't yet have a video for them. For these ones on the marketing side, I have a video. Just opens up. But for the ones that don't have the video, I have a live demo, which works on the live site. It's just blocked from, yeah, it's blocked on because of cause. Here, refuses to connect. So back over to cursor, we look at the plan. Marketing site already promotes features via consistent page. Yeah, that's done intentionally. Electrical tech test and tag. Already lists electrical box at features, but that page 404's it just created that, I think. Yeah. Choose a live demo here, no screenshot needed. Create features, test and tag register. Portable equipment, records, admin register. Okay, cool, title. I think I could just edit this. Can I just edit this directly? Yeah, I can just click on this and edit it. Test and tag for builders, logged in minutes. Competent persons log personal equipment. Have electricians log portable equipment test through PDFs equipment living a dashboard. Log test results, retest existing gear, 4 audit trail per asset, track overdue tests, and download PDFs from the admin register. Why it matters, link to this. Well, that's fantastic. We don't want to link to that. Just get rid of that. How share the form, build this copy, open the test and tag, log the site on it, review in the register. What is electrical test and tag? Who submits? Cross sell. Yes, create features, electrical register, box, electricians. Site electrical box checks. Site safety hub, lessons, store PDF records. Okay, I'm just going to build this out and then I'm going to do a bit of an audit after that. So what's really cool here is we have these general forms. We have these, I'll go to the live site, we can see the demo. So we have a structure here on the features page that shows basically the feature. Is that the correct version of it? Yep. So it basically shows an overview of the feature, but because we're in this mono repo over here, what we can do is get Cursor to crawl or to look at what the feature is and how it's being implemented, and then it will generate all the information required for the marketing website from that. So it's pretty handy that from here you can see, where are we? We've got this electrical test and tag, electrical box check. It's got the icons mixed up. But if I click on electrical test and tag records logged in minutes. So that link is broken. This link is broken. Yeah, so we have over here, electrical test and tag. Here's the information on it. Portable electrical equipment must be tested and tagged on site. Here's what needs to be inspected. This link doesn't work, but it does open in a new one. How to do it, scan the QR code. Records on site. So we need to update some of these images here. It excludes it from there. Focus on growing your business. So it's got FAQs. It's also added it down here. And we've got the electrical box check as well. That's great. So do we have so now what we're going to do is for the electrical box check, for both step 3s, please add this image into the middle of it. Let's go to chat. Generate me an image of electrical, of tools that need electrical test and tags. Yeah, so I hope you can see after building in that feature, we can prompt Cursor to look at all of the things that we've done to implement that feature, turn that into marketing materials, add it to the nav bar, create the page, add it FAQs to it based on the information that it's got, and then add it to the platform, or add it to the footer as well. Let's update the links in the middle of the image. So let's see how chat's going. Something went wrong. So it's just saying that's updated step 3. Great. There's the PDF records. That's great. Picked a good image for that. So now we just need save that image into Builder Shield, apps, marketing, static, images, test and tag. So we've got that there. So that will be the, that can go behind here. And we can go there. So we need another 2 images. Make another one, please, but completely different. Okay, so we need to create one for behind here, one for here, and the background there is fine. So now what we want to do is look at our Docker DB. We'd like to test the notification system. Notification system, please. The next due date here. And we should also have this pass, test, or fail. So test and tag register. We would like to have different colors for the result. If pass, green. If fail, red. Any others? That is test and tag 2. And then we want a generic now a photo of an electrician testing something. Actually, running the test. I don't like the way it's done that. The easiest way is to, so what it's done is it's just done all this bullshit stuff, trying to add this hooks dev thing here to just update the value of it in the database and see if it gets triggered. Right. Is that not the easiest way? Unless I'm missing something and it needs to... It needs to do it another way. Okay, let's see this. Okay, nice. Electrician, testing and tagging. Another from a different perspective, please. So that's just... Yeah, so if I go to the behind camera, you can see I've got this screen over here. Generating images while that screen is doing stuff. We are logged into the root account. Oh, that's cool. A little update there for cursor. Tired now. How long have I been going? When did this start? 2 hours. 2 hours. Okay, so pass. Great. How's this going? Electrical box testing. Great. So now we have all of these in the marketing site. Let's just get rid of those editors. We have marketing somewhere. Marketing site static. Images. So we want to convert the images that are .png to .abif, and then use them in the respective spots on features/test and tag register and features electrical. So we want to build in the notification system now. So the notifications for the electrical test and tag should come 1 week before, and again the day of. What the hell is that? The image should be the background, and the form should bloody be over it like that. And the sign should be over it like this. Test and tag, get rid of the image and the line, the front image. Oh. Did you ever what happened to that? Keep the day notification. Same thing with this one. We want the sign to be in the middle with word image behind it. Just waiting for that image to generate. Test result colors, fine. Notifying the builder. Next just stay plus. It's during 1 week. Is that correct? Is it today plus 7 days or minus 7 days? So, electrical box test 2, test 1. This today that would mean that the due date was 7 days ago, already overdue, not due in a week. Today plus 7 days is 1 week before the alert. Think of it this way: next test due date when the retest is actually due. 1 week before you send the reminders. So on the column looks like this. Next, just 3 equals. Today minus 7, that would mean the due date was 7 days ago. Retest is due in a week. If the retest is due in 1 week, that means we need the notification 1 week before the due date. This notification can be X due in X days. Anyone got a presidential alert in Australia? We need one notification a week before due date, and then we can exit in 7 days, then another notification on the day, and perhaps one the following week to remind if it hasn't been actioned yet. Okay, so now let's test. We haven't got the license photo for that. Let's test the license photo. Submit. Back to here. It's there. Fantastic. That's great. Electrical test and tag. That's great. Yay. Looks good. On the home page. Use better images for the feature here. What's that called? Let's just do for this component. So we want to use better images for this component. Back to our testing tag. Okay, update the plan. Today plus 7, today minus 7. Due in 7 days means the retest is I still don't get this. Isn't the next due date 3 months from now if I completed a form today? If true, then next test due date should be 2 months, 3 weeks from now. You're right about what gets stored when you submit a form today. Date tested, next due date 3 months later, default 3 months frequency. Nothing should notify you today. The retest isn't due for months. Stays in the database, stays the same. Cron runs. Ah, okay, gotcha. So I think that that's fine. Let's just build that. Regenerating database types now. Okay, so now we get cursor to run the cron job. And again, all of this is being done with local Supabase, so we are not affecting anything on the live site at the moment. Otherwise, you can run cron jobs that are connected to the live email from your computer, or the live application from your computer, and it will just blast emails out to people. Let's see what it does. So it's running. At the moment we've got these things that flagged as past due. on that. Refresh the page. We've got these test and tag. Drill at Site 1 Melbourne due in 7 days. Due today. Way. Okay, so now we come back over to localhost. Back to the tag. Which one was it? It was drill 1. Retest drill 1. Let's upload a photo of it. Test. Let's just see what happens when it fails. Taken Baghdad. Cool. Does it get rid of the notification? It gets rid of the notification. So now let's go back to the electrical testing tag and retest the grinder. Oh, actually, here's something interesting. Now, if I go back to the electrical testing tag, because I put it as fail, it says next due today. So if I put it as pass, what happens? Okay, check here, electrical testing tag, drill 1. Okay, great. It is correctly clearing the notification, but it is not updating the status. And next due. Of the old entry to tested or something. Also, the next test due date is the same, back over in cursor, is the same as today, not 3 months. Oh. Yeah, so adding in features that might look easy on the surface, but sometimes there's a lot of little knock-on effects that you've got to think about. Especially when there's notifications involved, like are the notifications getting cleared correctly? Are they getting registered correctly? What happens to the day that triggered the notification? Does that get updated when you complete the action? Yeah, there's a few different things that are going on here. So let's have a look. Okay, that's 3 months from now. Cool. So retest the drill, because the drill needs to be retested today, and we have Okay, so that's updated and tested now. So you can see that the drill that has the asset serial number, it's logging that correctly. So if I click on history, you can see all of the different tests for that. Go back to the electrical tag register. Now we go over to electrical test and tag, and we want to test grinder. You can see that that filtering is working correctly. And then we want to take a photo of that. Pass, yes. Submit. It's cleared the notification that we had here. It's added it to the history there. Come back down to the electrical test register. We can see that that's passed and that all of the previous ones are tested. If we click on history, we've got it tested. That's from the current one, is it? Test 3. Fantastic. We've got on the page, on the marketing site, we've got this with the correct information. We've got this electrical test and tag, which is pretty cool. Okay, so great, but make sure the live demos are still there too, please. What is an electrical block? And then we've got the electrical test and tag. Must ensure regularly inspect electrical equipment. Great, it's got something there. That's cool. Cool, so I'm pretty happy with all that now. Now what we need to do is log into Superbase. Build a shield. Then go to Superbase, MCP. And then when you're on Superbase MCP, select project. Select EID. Click add. It's going to open cursor. It's going to want me to authenticate. So I'm going to install that MCP. Delete these .png files. Okay, are we authenticated? Next. Authorize cursor. Open. Okay. Great. Plan mode. Now we're preparing to deploy. We'll test it locally. One thing that we might also want to test is just the general site induction form. I just want to make sure that nothing else is broken. Site instruction. Yeah, it's all working good. So these migrations are additive. Please use Superbase MCP to add these migrations. Please commit everything to marketing and live. Please commit everything to GitHub and push. Actually, wait, please strip out the testing stuff. Yeah, we don't need to add that testing stuff, I don't think. Notify test takes still runs daily, and you can trigger notifications with PM. Commit was amended locally and ready to push it. All three migrations applied to Superbase, so now we can go back to Superbase. We can look at the schema. We've got our table, test and tag stuff. So pushing. It's deploying the website, staging, safety portal, and admin portal automatically just from the git push. Then we can test there, and once happy, we promote to production. It's going on in the Twitter sphere at the moment. Oh, that's fun. What the hell? What kind of message is that, man? What about the sitemap? What about the sitemap? Great, it's added the feature pages, the test and tag, and the electrical register. So if we look at there we go, we've got it here. It should load the electrical check. Probably won't load the test and tag because it doesn't technically exist yet, but there's no reason that we can't just push that to prod. So safety portal, deploy. I mean it's all tested, so deploy it on the admin too. And the last thing we need to do is run the tests when it's live, and then we should be pretty good to go. So stretching. Refresh, and there's the test and tag. So let's have a look on the phone. Pull up the portal. Got a nice UI here. Now test it. So let's log in. Go to here. Electrical test and tag equipment. 7 away. Loop. Just use that. Gibson electric. Grinder. Asset serial GL1. Photo. Site shed. 27th of July. Pass. Yes. Green. One. Don't have my electrical license. Turn home. Here's the electrical test and tag. Got the electrical test and tag here. Can upload that. Got the history. All looks good. So we are live with that feature. We have the marketing site that is done. Site checkbox. These images looking good. Electrical test and tag looking good. Electrical checkbox. Great. Got some revenue stats. So the conversion rate is really going up. A lot of these users were from before. We made some big updates to the onboarding flow. So yeah, it's coming through quite well now. But yeah, I think that's how you add a feature. Well, building locally, build locally using cursor, plan mode, feeding the AI as much context as you can about how things are done similarly for previous things, so that cursor can utilize that information to build out the new feature. Using the plan mode to make sure that what it's doing makes sense and is what you would expect. Iterating on the plan to make sure that you know what it's going to be doing and it doesn't start making some strange assumptions that lead you down the wrong path. And building, testing, ironing out the bugs, build, test, iron out the bugs, and then thinking about how that feature integrates into a more complete user experience. So in the case of this test and tagging, we want to be able to notify users when they have something that's upcoming that needs to be tagged. Because if, for example, WorkSafe or an authority come out and they check and there is no tag on these electrical items, that is a problem for the customer. And if our customers have that problem, then we need to provide a solution that solves that problem. So 1 week's notice for them to organize an electrician, I think, is quite good. There's probably scope to extend it so that there is a way for them to put in a number to determine, like, essentially give them the ability to control how forward they want their notifications to be. That will be something to think about and build in if we need, but at the moment, you can keep building out features till the cows come home. I think it's important to focus on the sales and the business development while we're early stage, and continue to get feedback from customers, such as this feature that was built in today. That came directly via an email from a customer, and it's now, so that was at 9 a.m. It's now 2:30 p.m. and that feature has been implemented and pushed live. So now I can email her back and let her know that that feature is live, and to let me know if it is working as she would expect it to. And yeah, we can go from there. I'm going to stop the stream now and take a bit of a break and reply to some emails. So if you've watched this far, or you're just jumping on and click to the end, hopefully there were some nuggets in here for you. It's mostly just a bit of essentially a live stream, just hanging out with whoever might be out there, and keeping myself accountable for not procrastinating, which is working quite well. I think I spent a total of, 2 minutes on Twitter throughout that whole stream. And that was while Cursor was in plan mode. So yeah, we orchestrated multiple agents, we built a feature, we tested it, we pushed it live, and now it's time to get back to the customer side of things. So